Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Tara. And we are doing
Things to get rid of when decluttering your home. You're all choked up over this one, aren't you?
I know, it moves me. Okay.
So we're going to start with decluttering the kitchen. That's a biggie.
That's a biggie.
If you just even start out with going through your canned goods. We keep canned goods forever. The expiration is gone. We think our family might eat this half bag of something, and they don't. Things are spoiled. And so you need to just go through the pantries. And what we wanted you to do is do this step by step. We're trying to give you practical ways to do it. So start with your pantry. Go through, get rid of outdated canned goods and food.
Put all like items together so you can see how many you have of everything. Now, I know people may think that's OCD, but there's actually a practical reason to do that, because you don't want to dig through corn and green beans and pumpkin to find the
tomatoes
beans
or something.
tomato. Yeah.
It makes your grocery list go faster when you have to figure out what you need to buy at the grocery store. So this is really kind of important to get your pantry.
We have a list on our website on items to keep in your pantry, and I'll put that in the description for you. But yeah, just keep it neat and orderly, and as you're putting groceries up, organize it. This doesn't have to be a huge process. Just whenever you go and take something out or put something in, straighten one shelf or two shelves.
And don't feel bad if it's not outdated and still perfectly good, but your family just doesn't like that type of thing, then donate it to somebody too. You could do those. And another thing we keep in our pantry often is small appliances, gadgets, you know, that you use in the kitchen that you never use. You maybe use once a year. Do not keep those. Just
if you have a blender and a food processor,
you don't need both.
But you don't use them regularly, you know, get rid of your blender and just get a little hand stick blender. So much less room.
Yeah. Another thing, once you get your pantry organized, then go to your kitchen cabinets. I one time could not believe I did this, but I had 25 Christmas glasses. They had the Christmas, you remember them, don't you? Of these Christmas glasses. Well, first of all, I wasn't even having Christmas at my house anymore because I was going to Tara's or my son's house all the time. So I kept the Christmas glasses, and like you, I moved them from Kansas to Idaho, back to Kansas again, you know, a couple of houses. So I had these 25 glasses. We had stopped using even Christmas glasses. Even if it had been at my house, we were using paper cups. So why was I storing these 25 Christmas glasses? So, you know, toss out things like that in your cabinet.
Casserole dishes and plasticware. You can watch my video on how I organize my plasticware, but you know,
it's like it reproduces plastic.
It does. You know, this is one of my huge frustrations. People will save sour cream, yogurt, Cool Whip containers, margarine, butter containers. If you use them, that's fine, but don't keep them all. You don't
keep
need
stacks of them.
You don't need 30 butter or margarine containers.
What I do is I have a space where I can keep 4 Cool Whip containers. Once that's filled, I toss everything else out.
And the same with casserole dishes. People used to use casserole dishes all the time. They don't so much. I have a family of 7 and I use 2. That's all I have.
Well, yeah, how many do you use at one time? You don't use 5 or 6 1.5 quart casserole dishes all at the same time, unless it's for like Christmas, but that's very rare.
And even then, if it's a special occasion like that, is it worth the $1 to go to the dollar store and buy one that you need it instead of using a whole entire cabinet for one dish? I mean, some of those dishes can get huge. So
so get rid of some of them or give them away, donate them. But your junk drawer too, that's another place. I do my junk drawer about every 5 years. It just terrorizes me. But you know, you need to go through it because there's a lot of unused batteries that don't work anymore.
Put stuff back where it belongs.
People like things together.
Yeah. So I don't keep batteries in my junk drawer. We keep them in our office, but batteries always end up there. So I move them all back to the office, test them all, make sure they're working. Keys for cars we don't even own.
Cleaning supplies is another thing you need to go through if you keep them in your kitchen. Sometimes I had a container of furniture polish. I haven't, the kind you rub and buff and scrub and all that.
People do that?
I was going to say, didn't use that for like 15 years, but I still kept the can of it, you know. And if you do have some that you use, but I've known people have like 4 cans of the exact same thing. because it was so unorganized in there, they didn't see they had it. So get those lined up and start using them to toss
But
them.
one tip, if you have several containers like of a cleaner that's an all-purpose type cleaner, if you don't have one, put it in every one of your bathrooms. Don't be walking back and forth, back and forth, getting cleaning supplies. If you have multiples and you can use them in other rooms of your house, do that.
I very rarely carry one of the things around, with all the cleaning supplies, because I keep a whole set in each bathroom, in the kitchen, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, go through your kitchen linen drawers.
Yeah.
I'm very frugal. If you haven't figured this out, I'm very, very frugal. But this is one area where I think people fall down on, is in their kitchen linens. I always say, we don't want to wear dingy underwear. We like to have pretty nice underwear. Nobody sees it half the time except our spouses maybe, but but we're real particular about spending a lot of money on pretty underwear, to have this pretty underwear. Well, and then our kitchen drawer has grungy, dirty,
nasty,
stained, torn, raggedy dish towels, dish rags. And I go to somebody's house and they're washing their dishes with this dish rag that looks like it hasn't ever been washed in 100 years. People see that. They don't see our underwear, but they see our kitchen linens. So it doesn't take that much to replace if you.
No, and you can find them really cheap now. I mean,
and
you
don't need that many of them. It's like everything else. You just need a handful of kitchen towels and linens.
And then probably the last thing for going through your kitchen, get rid of anything that is broken, chipped, or doesn't work, period. Unless it's great-great-great-grandma's antique something or another, go ahead and display it if you like that kind of thing. But if it doesn't work, or if it's chipped, do not keep it.
Or if it's not working for you, if it's not the right size dish.
Like the blender example.
Yeah, or the blender.
I didn't use a big blender, but I did use a hand blender a lot. So, go through all those kinds of things in your kitchen. So that's some of the main highlights to go through your kitchen. And like I said, go to our website. We have a list of exactly what to have in your pantry.
We have a list of what to keep in your pantry,
So I'll put that in the description, but hopefully that gives you a few ideas to get started on decluttering your kitchen. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.